How great was the response that the delegation of God was cheering, including the declaration of monotheism on which they broke their fast. And how beautiful those beings are as they echo what the tongues of the mullahs are chanting. Showing slavery to the Lord of the worlds, as it is reported from the honest and faithful Allah that he said, "No Muslim meets only a pulp from his right and north, from a stone, a tree, or a mudder until the earth is cut off from here and here." On the day when he brought them out of Adam's back as a seed. And I testified to them that he was their Lord, and they believed in him. Whoever disbelieves has changed the nature of Allah on which people are fasted. The Almighty said, sad face. So raise up your face to the religion Hanafa. Allah has fasted on which people are fasted. There is no change to Allah's creation of that valuable religion, but most people do not know. He is quoted as saying, "Every child is born naturally, and his parents are Jews, Christians, or blasphemers." And in the hadith of the Holy Hadith, "I created my Hanafi worshippers suddenly, and the demons swept them away from their religion and deprived them of what I had violated them." What Satan promised the children of Adam to change their nature, on which they were created, the Almighty narrated in saying, "And they are not flexible, so let them change the creation of Allah." There are many ways to change the creation of Allah in addition to changing the religion of Allah, including cutting off the ears of the muezzins, changing the apparent creation by tattooing, engraving, blanching for good, and other changes and mutilations that are forbidden by Islam, and also doing some ugliness and vices such as transvestism, the work of the lot people, lesbianism and so on, as well as changing the creation of Allah and the status of creatures other than what Allah created for him. Allah, may he be exalted, created the sun, the moon, trees, fire, and other creatures, so that he could consider and benefit from them. So the disbelievers made him gods to worship without changing the creation of Allah. Misleading the devil. Bidding and analyzing tyranny. Saying without argument or proof. And what is included in this belief of benefit and harm in other than Allah. May he be exalted. Such as, and he was caught in a trap by Allah and acts of ignorance. And he diverted something from worship to someone other than Allah Bari Allah. May he be exalted. Created his worshippers on the basis of right instinct and made him compelled to love and altruism. The desirability of good things and virtues, hatred of evil and pushing it and disapproving of ugliness and vices, but Satan diverted them from the true religion and made them violate the laws, and rulings of Allah and deviate from what is required by sound minds and decent mushrooms. For example, Allah, may he be exalted, who created mankind and made them into two categories, male and female, has decided and said, not the male as the female. Then comes the one who goes against his instinct and resists his command and seeks to change his natural gender, by turning a man into a woman, and a woman turns into a man, and the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, cursed otherwise. About Ibn Abbas, he said, the Prophet cursed Allah those who are circumcised by men, and those who are dismembered by women. Allah, may he be exalted, has made human marriage between a man and a woman a universal law. But Satan deliberately causes the slave to go beyond the limits of Allah and commit what is repugnant to good character. Until the situation reached the point where the guardians of Satan collapsed to obliterate instinct and spoil creation by imposing laws to legalize the marriage of a man to man and woman to woman. Mating with animals, inciting sexual perversion, homosexuality and all kinds of pornography, and made it a development in civilization, and they took a hostile position from those who denied this, and people have nothing but woe, corruption, and destruction. They did not like the Muslims to maintain their morals, manners, and behaviors derived from the purifying revelation and consistent with common sense. So some of them provoked the feelings of Muslims everywhere and provoked their anger by launching feverish campaigns and repeated hostile acts against the Islamic world under the pretext of freedom of opinion. Burning, insulting, desecrating and insulting the Holy Quran from the Holy Prophet Allah, ridiculing him, challenging him and questioning his sunnah is only one of the images of that. By doing so, they showed their deep-seated hatred against Muslims and fueled a fire hatred and violence. But all of them, thanks to Allah, are desperate attempts to repel from the path of Allah and distort the image of Islam, which does not immediately bring them loss and misery, and Allah is predominant over his affair, but most of the people do not know.